Welcome debaters and viewers alike to Two Ends. Here, I analyze two or more characters and decide who to win in combat as accurately as possible. There's not much else to say here, so I'll just say this. Be sure to leave a comment or make a video response as to who would win in the next battle. Your comment or video response may be featured in the next episode, so what is there to lose? Today we have Sans, the Harbinger of Karma from Undertale, and Peacock, wielder of the Merry-Go Death from Skullgirls. These two silly distance fighters have experienced some pretty messed up stuff in their life, but hey, they seem cheery. Or insane. But which wacky fighter will win in a fight? Let's analyze. A long time ago, a war was waged between humans and monsters that ended in a loss for the monsters. Sealed by the humans underground, the monsters created their own civilization and waited for the day they could break the barrier and be free. Then two skeletons popped out. Two wacky brothers, Sans and Papyrus. Papyrus had always been the serious one of the two. Meanwhile, his brother was more laid back, so to speak. Chilling out, spending his time napping and making jokes whenever he feels like it. Of course, one day some kid entered the underground, and so Sans kept an eye on him. Murder means death. Now, if this kid decided to go murder everything on sight, Sans had to be ready. Thus, he has a kit made just for an occasion. As a monster, Sans has an affinity for magic and has specific abilities from this. Sans is capable of creating shortcuts, which allow him to enter places faster and easier than others. Sans can change a target's gravity, allowing him to slam his foe into walls without even touching them. He is capable of creating two different kinds of bones, white bones and blue bones. White bones are pretty standard, being a magical attack they hurt upon contact and can appear out of nowhere. You know, normal magic things. Blue bones are pretty much the exact same thing, except for one small detail. You can avoid these by standing absolutely still. Well, this really doesn't matter against people outside of the verse, since they're probably going to attempt to dodge it, like any normal person would do. Sans is also capable of summoning Gaster Blasters, giant skulls that fire giant lasers. It takes a bit of a startup, but when they fire lasers, and let me tell ya, it hurts. Finally, Sans has his signature hacks, Karmic Retribution, or KR for short. This hack activates as soon as one of Sans's attacks activate. While it doesn't cause any physical hindrance, it causes the target to have their life force slowly be drained for a period of time. Please note that this won't kill the foe by itself, it'll bring them to the point where if they get hit once, they're dead. Of course, Sans needs quite a number of feats, and he has, like, one. Sans is fast enough to outpace Frisk, who is able to defeat a monster who moves faster than lightning that hits the ground. In case if you're wondering, lightning travels at over Mach 268, and that's where the feats stop. Sure, he may have beaten Frisk a few times, but that is with his hacks, so yeah. Let's move on to something with a bit more meat. Sans has four main weaknesses that one absolutely must take note of. First off, Sans has terrible durability. By that I mean if he gets hit once, he's dead. His attacks also lack potency. What makes his attacks deadly is the Karmic Retribution. He can't kill without his Karmic Retribution weakening the opponent completely. Sans also has terrible stamina. He'll fall asleep in the middle of a fight if he gets tired and he sweats. How does a skeleton sweat? Now finally, his biggest weakness. His advantage was knowledge of Undertale's battle system. Thus he incorporated it into how he fights. If his opponent does not follow this versus rules, he won't expect an incoming attack if it comes out of nowhere. Of course, catching him by surprise is a pretty daunting task. Now let's see if Peacock can spook this skeleton.
It's a beautiful day outside. Birds are singing, flowers are blooming. On days like this, kids like you should be burning in hell.
Let me explain this as easy as possible. So there was just war and this skeleton heart thing. Someone took it and laid waste to the land and everything was pretty much murdered. There was so much destroyed, crime kinda went crazy. Now meet Patricia, an 11-year-old who was orphaned by the war, who lived with her friend Marie Corbell in an orphanage where the only clothes there were to wear were maid outfits. Okay. Life was pretty okay, until the bandits attacked. Now, Patricia was pretty rebellious, and these bandits intended to sell her and the rest of the kids who were there into the slave trade. So, what does a rebellious cartoon protagonist do in this situation? Rebel and fight! And so Patricia did that, and got beaten, had her eyes gouged out, had her teeth beaten out of her, and had her arms cut off. Remember kids, don't be a hero if it's obvious that you'd lose. And so, Patricia was left for dead. She was then found by Dr. Avian, a scientist from Lab 8 who just so happened to have a kind heart. So, he gave her synthetic parasites, and replaced her eyes and arms with robotic ones, and he replaced her teeth with a bear trap? Excuse me, what? Well, whatever, these new parts gave her a very, very nice arsenal to work with. In fact, let me just speed through this. Peacock has The ability to change was right, the ability to create left, the ability to create portals out of nowhere, the ability to create balls of violence, the ability to stretch herself out, the ability to manipulate its distance, and she has Toon Force. As for her arsenal, Peacock carries her Aegis system, which is her arms. These arms are capable of turning into knives and shooting lasers. These also give her omnidirectional vision. She carries rocket boots, which allow her to fly, and a treacherous cube for defending. And as for other weapons, Peacock has cigars, a mallet, cream pies, a screwball cannon, a shotgun, a baseball bat, a chainsaw, a springboard, a football, a banjo, a spring, a burlap bag, a whistle that can call upon a variety of heavy objects, or it can allow her to pull a deal and call a roll roller, and a magnum that can shoot 3 bullets, or a fake out flag, or a random bladed weapon. She also has a gang. Yeah, she has a gang. They're part of her arsenal, and it's stupid. She's got Avery the Bird, Andy the Anvil, Tommy 10 Tons, George the Bomb, and Lonesome Lenny. Now for Peacock's feats. I can take it easy here. Hallelujah. Peacock is able to hit hard enough to cause earthquakes in the area she's in and destroy solid stone casually. She can outrun an explosion, which could make her at minimum Mach 10. She can take an explosion from Lonesome Lenny, which has been calculated to be powerful enough to destroy a town. She's tracked down and murdered everyone in the Mafia, which includes Sarabella. Heck, she's living every day with her soul being messed with by 2 parasites. But her greatest feat of all is she's watched every cartoon ever and memorized them all, incorporating them into her fighting style. Don't question it. She does have flaws, however. Peacock lacks experience in combat and has lost a double. She is rather irrational and ends up making decisions without thinking. She also wants to replace all the oxygen in the world with chocolate. Now, can this jokester take down the skeleton in the closet? Let's look at a few predictions while my printer prints out the results.
It appears that 55th Explosion Mage has made her own versus series, or content level, whichever one works. So, I shall make a prediction video because she's basically a Diet Universes, which in turn is a Diet All-Star Showdown, which in turn is a Diet Death Battle. But who cares about ripping off Death Battle? We are here to talk about Peacock versus Sans. Now this is interesting and I have no idea if it has connections. I guess I'll have to find out later, but this is another one of the many fights that Sans will lose. And here's why. Peacock is very powerful and could easily one-shot Sans because she's town level and such. That's pretty powerful. And she easily is on par with Sans. She has hypersonic feats, and Sans can dodge lasers, which are at the very least hypersonic. They can be with light speed, but that depends on the laser. Sometimes lasers are not necessarily lasers, but whatever. Now, here's the part where Sans would get overwhelmed. She has immense Toon Force, which means she has a crazy arsenal of stuff. Like, she has a gigantic bomb that she can just blow up. There's no way Sans would predict some of the stuff she has up her sleeves. However, Sans would have a chance. I mean, Peacock kills people a lot. Just a lot. Murder, death, murder. Just a lot of killing. So, that's finally negated durability there. But still, the completely wacky and unpredictable arsenal that Peacock has, there's no way Sans could handle it. He just wouldn't see what's coming for him. It's so absurd what Peacock has got. And not to mention she has a gang of people, that cartoon character things that she can call upon to help out, and gang up on Sans, which means that he'd be attacked from multiple directions by a crazy arsenal with someone about as fast as him. He just won't be able to handle that. He'd get hit before too long. Which is why I say, Peacock, the person I had no idea existed before this fight was announced, wins.
Alrighty, let's see here. The winner is... Peacock! Holy jeez bejeez, this is far too close for a first episode. I thought this was going to be easy to decide. Anyway, let me go over why I personally believe Peacock takes this. While Sans supposedly has a beautiful speed set, it's entirely possible he isn't that fast. Sans is the only one who dodges in Undertale due to him being the only one who knows how to exploit the versus system. But even then, he knew to dodge because of what was going to happen before it did. With Peacock, her arsenal is absolutely ridiculous and is unpredictable, which will constantly keep Sans on his toes. Her wacky fighting style and her hacks also destroy Sans. Sans has not watched any American cartoons, so he'd have no read on what Peacock has planned. Peacock existence manipulation would mean she could paint herself out of existence back in to avoid Sans' attacks, or she could just paint him out of existence to end it. The fact that Peacock can summon her friends would also be a problem for Sans, causing him to try and dodge more often, tiring him out even faster than normal. Of course, you may be wondering about karmic retribution. Well, yes, it targets the soul, but you know what else targets the soul? Parasites. Peacock would be indifferent due to her parasites messing with herself for so long. In the end, Sans just couldn't stay conscious. The winner is Peacock.
That could have done with a little less fancy.